muscles and strengthen them at the same time. It gives you beautiful finished lines and long muscles.
And this machine, what does this one do?
This is called the ladder barrel. It's very good for lengthening your muscles. So in Pilates, you want to lengthen and strengthen. So what I'm doing is I'm lengthening my abs and strengthening my lower back.
And how does this help with your exhibition dancing?
It teaches you how to inhale and exhale and really giving the muscles the oxygen that it needs to not tire so easily.
You've got to be able to breathe, and you've got to be able to just use your muscles and use your body to its extreme while breathing and dancing and just showing it's effortless, and that's where the Pilates and your core strength comes into it.
Craig's talent is the strength of an Olympic weightlifter wielded with a gymnast's grace.
It's not just brute strength, it's not just throwing the goal up into the air and the goal being light. It's not about that. It's about core strength, it's about using your legs, knowing when to breathe and everything like that.
It's all about timing and commitment from both sides.
Can I try a lift?
Would you like to? What we'll do is that technical lift, I'll do the spinning part of it.
As a two-time SA Latin American champion, flair is second nature to Craig. And Salamina showed she's also a natural.
Okay, good. Don't release until you've got the momentum.
Release!
Like Salamina, Natalie's always one for a challenge. So she decided the lifting shouldn't be left exclusively to the men.
We like to mix our routines up a bit, so I don't just lift Natalie, or Natalie lifts me.
No.
This they don't teach you at ballet school. What it demonstrates is their joint talent for balance. The pivot in this case is Natalie, in a routine that made them the only exhibition dance couple invited to last year's top Vale International Dance Festival.
Well done.
Thank
Is
you.
that to do with balance?
Very much counterbalance and timing.
And of course, rock hard abs.
When you're performing one night at the Grand Prix and the next sharing the stage with the Royal Ballet, you accumulate quite a wardrobe.
Your costumes are blinging. How important are costumes?
They are quite important. As you can see, this one is a very tight-fitted costume. And the reason we do that is because it's made for more of a pash type of adage, which is fast and dynamic. So we can't have too many hanging bits because things would get in the way and it would look quite untidy. And it's all about the Swarovskis. So it's simple, but glitzy at the same time. You want to show off, obviously, the best parts of your body, and tight and fitted rather than loose and frilly, because that's going to make you look maybe bigger.
Translating their talent to spectacle is the job of Tyrone Watkins, who gives them the technique and confidence to excel.
He takes our routine and transforms it into a meaningful story, so that when you compete, you're able to be drawn into that moment of conveying that story to the audience instead of being overwhelmed by all the anxieties and the nerves that go with competing.
I think Craig and Natalie, what makes them so unique is they've got a discipline, they've got a hunger, they've got a passion. It's that passion and the understanding between the two of them to want to succeed, not only within their dancing with one another, but they're dancing in terms of competitively, and as well as what they portray to their audience and towards the educational world of dancing.
To watch her, you'd never know it, but how Natalie keeps up with Craig is a marvel that's got more than a few doctors applauding too.
I was born with a chronic lung condition called cystic fibrosis. It's been very physically challenging due to decreased lung capacity and obviously can't breathe. From the cystic fibrosis, I have diabetes as well. So the exercise actually helps the sugar levels remain low and increases my lung capacity because of the cardio. I feel like I'd like to be an inspiration to those who feel that any illness, that they can't aspire to what they want to achieve. With your mind, you can do anything you want to do. I'll never let it get the better of me. I'll always keep achieving and pushing through and achieving those goals that I've set for myself.
Even exhibition dancers have mortgages, so they do corporate shows locally and abroad, as well as the competitive work.
What were some of your most wonderful moments?
I think winning the title of Blackpool. But not only that, just getting to the end of the routine and knowing that you've actually nailed it and you've conveyed what you wanted to. You just hear that applause and have that standing ovation. It's beyond words.
To see the spectacular display, be sure to catch Craig and Natalie live at Emperor's Palace until this Saturday, after which they leave for their summer world tour.
Next. Next, escape into a feast of mountain manor interiors in Cape Town and a 3-century-old English garden in...
And she's restored it back to what it was.
It meant sculpting the topiaries and creating a Persian water garden, using a combination of vision and innovation.
This bit of the garden's really formal, and you've got these beautiful vistas or views, which if you're designing a garden, you want to think about that, because if you've got a view or you see something, a focal point, you think, I want to go and walk to that, and it leads you naturally around the garden. And contrast is always good. If you've got a formal garden, then have a bit that's totally informal. You haven't got to have moving water. Where we were earlier, it was lovely with the sound, but this is just as beautiful. Very tranquil, and it's known as a reflective pool, and you can achieve it in a normal garden. You haven't got to have a huge lake like that. A small pool, no plants in it, you know, a metre square or round would be plenty, and some plants around. And sometimes people put dye in it, a black dye, which makes the reflection even stronger. So if you're having a party, it might be something to do.
If you love order and symmetry, then curbing your greenery's natural inclination to sprout untidy tendrils leads to these creative forms and figures.
So yeah, people get sort of quite concerned about trying to clip shapes, but it's really not that difficult. Either use a frame if you're really worried, but to get a spiral like this is really quite straightforward. Need some string.
I was wondering what that for.
Preferably not green. And all you do is tie it to the top of your shrub and wind it round. Then it's just a case of clipping round and following the line. If you're really nervous, I wouldn't start off with an expensive shrub like this. I'd go for a conifer, which you wouldn't mind if it was a bit wobbly. But I quite like that effect.
Yeah,
it's not even.
Skew effect.
But I wouldn't like to have done the Queen of Hearts,
Oh
though.
no, that looks a bit more challenging.
Today, the beginner might cut corners, so to speak, and grow greenery around a wire frame. But back in ancient Roman times, where the art originated, it was down to a steady hand and a good eye.
Charlie, it's been lovely getting so much gardening insight from you. And I know you'll be in South Africa soon for the Garden Next and Green Living Fair.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, because last time I was out there was with Ground Force doing Nelson Mandela's back garden, which was amazing. But I'm looking forward to going to the fair because there's going to be lots of show gardens there. I'm doing workshops.
This delightful Austrian city has many charms well worth discovering. And if you answer the first question correctly tonight, you and a partner might well be the ones doing the discovering.
Fly business class with British Airways.
In interiors, most of the areas of the home are well catered for, except perhaps for what lies behind your children's bedroom door. With budget ranges at one side and pricey niche suppliers at the other, the in-between of finding off-the-shelf quality decor for toddlers right through to teens was a worthy quest. Here's what we found.
As difficult as it seems, you do need to do a bit of groundwork though. The most important things to remember when doing a child's room is safety, storage, and you need to introduce a bit of a zonal element so that they can make it their own space.
For this baby's room, the cot boasts a floating yet functional mosquito net. While aside from the infant accessories and mobiles, other furniture could be used for years to come.
This thing is so heavy, if I ever do have a child, he's using this as his desk for university, because I'm not moving it again.
Pulling the concept together are a hand-tufted woolen rug to soften a tiled floor and frame sketches of animated characters.
How come we didn't put the crib right up against the wall?
Because if this were your baby, you want to get to it quickly and from any angle.
Yeah, it depends how loud I'm screaming.
What's wonderful about this fabric, this toile, is it reminds of French upholstery fabric and also Delft earthenware, which is an English tradition of decorating. This is also repeated in the curtains. It helps tie a room together in terms of theme and our signature blue. And the stories you can tell from this is incredible.
As well as a message and photo board, this striped tent sets the scene for bedtime stories.
Does my bum look big in this? I feel like I'm wearing a tent.
At Weatherly's, we've found such an array of furniture, accent pieces and ideas that creating a complete blue and white boyish look was a pleasure. This room has everything to see you through from baby to boy, with a cast of soft companions to cuddle and include in your stories.
Some of my favorite items are these dollies, which are hand crocheted and benefit previously disadvantaged communities.
They're very vintage. I love it. It's beautiful. But I smell a rat.
That's Leopold.
Here's their popular kids mascot. Along with Leipold, all the blue also comes in pink for girls.
Why is it so important for a nursery to have a chair?
You're having a baby. Truth is, you're not leaving this chair for the first few months. So it's very important that the upholstery is comfortable, the arms are not too high, and the colour scheme in this fabric really ties together the room. Very nice.
Somebody loves this room.
For teenage boys, furniture is contemporary in soft browns, greens and dark wood, using red as an accent colour. With 2010, soccer is an obvious theme.
When we decorate for value, it's always a good idea to get your large furnishings in a simple contemporary style, preferably in a neutral colour. So when doing a room that could suit either a 13-year-old or a 17-year-old, you keep the basics, but you dress up with your accessories.
And boys always seem to have so much stuff, so the storage space in this room is really ideal.
The magnetic blackboard serves as a memo pad, and Weatherliz has an excellent solution for those bare walls.
Instead of going to great expense and trouble to paint a mural on, we're going to stick on decals, which are vinyl stickers, and they're quick and easy. They're great fun as well.
To tidy up all the sports and other teenage paraphernalia, there's a wealth of solid storage that's also integrated into the bed.
When I think of little girls, the first thing that comes to mind is Hannah Montana.
Absolutely, Jeannie. Now, what we understand from preteen girls is that they're all about fun, frilliness and fashion.
Reflecting on colour? Go for pink.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, we are having such a ball.
Photos and keepsakes go into the pink pinboard, and the Forever in Blue Jeans bed set adds a good deal of fun.
Right now, Jeannie, to pick up on our candy striping, we've used French-inspired furniture in the beds and the dresses. And to accent with fabrics, we've got denim, which is a big trend coming through, and practical too.
The overall feel has a Victorian undertone, equal parts fairy tale and glamour. Even under a weight of bags, clothing, pictures and stuff, a classy foundation of bed and chest of drawers ensure a comfortable atmosphere.
Why are we hanging up so many paintings?
This is actually a big trend in decor right now, is arranging your pictures in a grid on the wall. And this denotes where we're going to have our social area.
To the setting of your fashion-themed canvases, you can add a bling-themed lampshade, while the denim-slipped chairs are as cozy, hard-wearing and familiar as a favourite pair of jeans.
This is the perfect spot for a tea party.
Yeah, and it's comfy. Denim picking up on our trimmings over there as well, and they're removable for when fashions change. I think it's a good job.
Bing.
Best of all,
Relatively little is known about box jellyfish.